Our trip to Spain had its ups and downs. It pretty much started off a disaster. Got much better thanks to a few people. Let me make a coffee and get comfortable. So our first couple of days in Spain, food-wise, was for me extremely disappointing. We couldn't find any decent food. The first 6 meals I think we found was just, it was just, I was beginning to think that there was no good food in Madrid. We found that a bit strange. Our first trip in Spain, which we were down south in Murcia, I think it was, and everything we ate, every place we went was just superb food. So I was really getting down in the dumps because I felt like I was really being let down because I live for food. Let me start you off with this one place we went to. It was more of a dessert place, which I think is a chain there in Spain. But, well, look, you'll see. We've been in Madrid for nearly 3 days now, and there seems to be a recurring theme with the food, and it's pretty bad.
Well, it's disappointing, a letdown most of the time.
A little bit. And we've just come to Valor, a chocolate place. Probably the worst experience we've had so far.
Yeah. Well, because we as we said, we tried it in Leon, and it was decadent. It was
Superb.
Delicious.
Superb.
And we couldn't wait to try it again. And we came here tonight. The service was terrible. It was sloppy. The dishes were cracked and dirty.
They even brought us change, and we hadn't paid yet.
Hadn't paid our bill yet.
So then we went to pay the bill because we'd like to do the right thing, and they gave us another bill that wasn't ours, and they were just so confused and out of touch with just everything going on around them.
And then they didn't even say thank you, goodbye, or anything as we left. So, and it's not even busy tourist season. It's it's not that busy. So they could.
Total letdown. So almost total letdown so far. We're So that was probably the pinnacle of how bad the food got in Madrid, although that was a dessert place. All the places we were going to, dinner or lunch or whatever it might have been, it was just so disappointing. And one of the biggest disappointments was that everyone told us to go to the market of San Miguel. Exciting place, a really neat looking place. It's busy, it's bustling, there's a lot happening there. There's all kinds, there's a massive array of different types of foods and fresh produce. We went there twice, and both times I wouldn't go again. It was that bad. And my son and his wife actually went there, and they told us to go there, and they know good food, and they had a splendid time there. You go to TripAdvisor, and they all say it's such a fantastic place. So I'm not sure what happened while we were there, but would not go again. It was just so disappointing. I think more so for the fact that I had my expectations were so high, and just it seemed one after the other, I just kept getting knocked back down with just really terrible, bad prepared food. Now it did get better, thank God. And part of the reason is a friend of mine, which I don't know personally, but I met him through Facebook on our trip around the world. And he told us all these places to go in Madrid. I think he lives in Madrid. The name is Michael Yardley. He's always taking pictures of food. He's always out and about eating. So it looks like this guy knows his food. He also was one that mentioned we should go to the San Miguel market. So I think in that regard, it's not to say that he doesn't know any good food, but I think we maybe hit it at the wrong time of the year, or maybe it was just a bad day or just super bad luck. Look, I don't know. I have no answers in that regard. But he did tell us lots of other places to go, which turned out very well. And one of our favorite places was the building, oh gosh, what was it? Cortez or something like that. It's the gourmet food center at the top of this one building. It's just got one shop after the next of really, really, really good food. And we ended up going there almost every day after that, simply because we were guaranteed good food. So check this out. Here I am at the top of Cortez Inglesa in Madrid, all by myself. The girls have gone shopping. If you don't know how much I hate shopping, ask my wife. I'd rather watch paint dry. So they're out doing their thing, and they're probably loving that. I've come back up again to the top of Cortez Inglesa in Madrid, thanks to my friend Michael Yardley. Thank you, Michael. So once the girls get here, we'll walk around this place and figure out what we're going to have for lunch. And looks like I'm almost guaranteed some pretty decent food. And as you know by now, I'm pretty disappointed with the food in Madrid, but this place is outstanding. And it doesn't end there. We started finding some good restaurants, again, thanks to Michael Yardley. Around the corner down the street from San Miguel markets, there's like a bunch of small restaurants, and they're all pretty good. One being allegedly the oldest restaurant in the world. That one is really famous and it's really worth going to. That was nice. There was another one across the street which we didn't eat, but we had some drinks there. It looked like it might have been a place where you actually, well, if you did the wrong thing, you would have been punished or tortured. That was a neat place to see. There was also another one just before Botan, the oldest restaurant in the world. Really nice food, but the service, it was good until about the end, and then it just seems to literally fall apart. But the food is worth it. I would go just for the food again. The service was so bad at the end because we asked for dessert, and this guy basically, he had a meltdown. It was kind of bizarre to watch. Entertaining for me, but my sister-in-law just said, well, why don't you just feck off then? And then the people next door, the people sitting at the next table said they'd never seen anything like it. So the service, not so good. The food is really, really good. So this little street is worth checking out. Okay, it seems like we've hit pay dirt, but I'm going to let the girls explain just how good this place was.
Okay, so we've just had a meal with the suckling pig and the baby lamb and mixed vegetables. It was a beautiful meal, very simple, but very tasty. The suckling pig was beautiful, pull apart. The lamb was probably not as good as we get in Australia, but still very tasty and tender. And the vegetables were different vegetables, really nice, and complemented the meal. And the bread. And you're a baker. What did you think of the bread?
I thought the bread was very, very nice, lovely and crusty on the outside, soft and lovely for soaking up the juices of the lamb and the suckling pig.
We've just about devoured all our dessert, but I want to go through all the three. I've got like a caramel ice cream. It's quite nice. Very caramelly. Anne ordered the cheesecake. It doesn't look like normal cheesecake, or what I know is normal cheesecake. It's very light, a bit of sweetness. It's actually my kind of cheesecake. I would have that cheesecake over all the other cheesecakes I've ever had. And Pauline's got some sort of creme brulee without the, it's not crunchy on the top. But I've got to say, this is probably the best creme brulee for me, personally, that I've ever had. And when you have it, it goes in almost tasteless, but creamy and nice and smooth. And then everything starts building after that. And when you're finished, you get this really strong sense of cinnamon. It's actually really quite nice. I would have that one again. My second would be the cheesecake. And that, although it's very nice, I can leave that. Yes, our Spanish cuisine experiences did improve and improved greatly. But one of the nicest surprises we had was we've discovered a little coffee shop nearby from where we were staying, only a couple of blocks away. This place had the best coffee that we had in Spain, and it had some really nice food. Unfortunately for us, we discovered this towards the end of our stay. This place was where we were staying in the Malasaña area or district. I hope I pronounced that properly. Also, the nearest train station would be the Noviciado train station. This place was that good that if I lived around that area, I'd be there every morning for coffee and maybe even breakfast. Actually just had our very first breakfast in Spain. I don't know why we haven't had breakfast in Spain, but we've picked a restaurant called Hanso Cafe, which was only a couple of blocks from where we were staying, so it made it very convenient, and really quite impressed. I had a bagel Benedict, so it was a little bit different, as the pictures prove it. I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's that pretty, it's that good. And then Pauline had
I had a rustic bread toasted with hummus and red peppers, anchovies and black olives with a squeeze of lime juice over the top, and it was delicious.
Also, we're coming here tomorrow for breakfast, our very last day. So until then, I think next time we see you, we'll be in Vietnam. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't consider Madrid the cuisine capital of Spain. I think it'd be far from it. But if you know if you live there and you know where to go, or if you know someone like we did, Michael Yardley, that can tell you places where to go and guide you in the right direction, you're going to have a really, really nice experience with Spanish cuisine. All in all, it was a nice trip. I enjoyed being in Madrid. I'd like to see Madrid in the summertime, so if we ever come back, Michael, you're going to be there this time. Michael was in Russia last time, so all we could do is correspond through social media. So if you've enjoyed this video, you might consider subscribing to our channel. Hit that like button, show us that you care. So I'm Rick Michelle, this is You Can Cook, and the next time you see us, we'll be in Vietnam.
You gotta cook! No, no, no!